The Great Man-Made River Project, initiated by Libya's leader Muammar Gaddafi, was an engineering marvel with a grand goal: to bring abundant fresh water from the Sahara's underground aquifers to the cities and agricultural lands of northern Libya. The project was not only monumental in its ambition but also revolutionary in scale, leading some to call it the eighth wonder of the world. For a country that is 99% desert, this undertaking promised a new era of prosperity, transforming Libya's parched land into fertile ground for agriculture and providing drinking water to its population. The Sahara Desert, one of the driest places on Earth, receives negligible rainfall, and Libyans in some areas could go years without seeing a single drop. Libya, despite having the largest proven oil reserves in Africa, lacks natural rivers or lakes. Water scarcity was a pressing issue, with no immediate solutions in sight. However, during the search for oil in the 1950s, an unexpected discovery was made: a massive underground reservoir of ancient, untouched water, what scientists call fossil water, was found buried deep beneath the sand. The Nubian Sandstone Aquifer, which extended below Libya and other parts of the Sahara, was estimated to hold around 150,000 cubic kilometers of water, enough to theoretically sustain the entire world's population for 4 decades. Recognizing this vast underground water reserve as a valuable resource, Gaddafi saw an opportunity to solve Libya's water crisis and envisioned the creation of a man-made river to bring the water from the Sahara to Libya's northern cities, where most of the population resides. However, the project faced significant engineering and logistical challenges. The aquifer was primarily in southern Libya, while cities like Tripoli and Benghazi were in the north along the Mediterranean coast. To transport this water over such vast distances, engineers calculated they would need to construct an extensive pipeline system, stretching over 2,820 kilometers, roughly the distance from Delhi to Mumbai or from Islamabad to Karachi. One of the primary technical challenges was the desert's extreme heat, which could cause substantial water evaporation if the water was transported through open canals. The solution was to construct an entirely underground river system. This required special pipes, each 113 feet in diameter and weighing nearly 80 tons, made from reinforced concrete and steel to withstand the harsh desert conditions. Over 500,000 pipes were required for the project, with each pipe reinforced with 8 kilometers of steel wire. If all the steel wire used in the pipes were laid out in a single line, it would circle the Earth 100 times. Construction began in 1980, starting with the development of infrastructure. To support the transportation of materials and personnel, a South Korean company was brought in to build a 3,200-kilometer road network across the desert. With roads in place, excavation commenced, digging 20 feet below ground to lay the pipes. In the first phase alone, approximately 3 billion cubic feet of sand and stone were excavated. This initial phase of the project, completed in 1989 at a cost of $5 billion, successfully connected water to several cities in Libya. The second phase focused on extending the pipeline to Tripoli, Libya's capital and largest city. Engineers dug deep wells in the Jabal al-Hassana area, where water was pumped from depths of 200 meters and transported through a 700-kilometer-long pipeline to Tripoli. The third phase continued this expansion, with wells drilled in Kufra, extending the water supply to Libya's second-largest city, Benghazi, via a 1,000-kilometer pipeline. In subsequent stages, these networks were interconnected, creating a unified system across the country. Additionally, 5 large reservoirs were constructed along the pipeline routes to store excess water and ensure a stable supply. Each of these reservoirs measured 1 kilometer in diameter, providing a vast capacity to store water in times of shortage. By the end of the third phase, Libya had created one of the world's largest irrigation systems, delivering water to around 6.7 million people and supplying water for agriculture and industry. An estimated 70% of the water was allocated to farming and industrial uses, transforming previously barren lands in northern and western Libya into productive, green areas. The entire project cost over $25 billion, an immense amount for Libya, especially as most of the funding came without foreign financial assistance. However, UNESCO provided technical training for engineers and workers involved in the project. Experts estimated that the Nubian sandstone aquifer could continue to provide water for at least 100 more years, making it a sustainable solution. If Libya had relied on desalination to obtain fresh water, the cost would have been 10 times higher, making the Great Man-Made River project a more economical choice. For a time, Libya enjoyed a new level of prosperity due to the project. News agencies worldwide covered the ambitious engineering feat, and it became a symbol of national pride. But, as history often shows, prosperity can be fragile. In 2011, during the Libyan civil war, NATO airstrikes targeted a factory that was producing pipes for the project's fourth and fifth phases, effectively halting future expansion. Political instability persisted, and from 2014 to 2020, during a second civil war, the project infrastructure was neglected. Pipes went without maintenance, and disruptions in water supply became common. In April 2020, militants seized control of a crucial water station near Tripoli, further interrupting the flow of water to the capital and leaving several reservoirs nearly empty. Today, Libya faces a severe water shortage once again. The Great Man-Made River, which once promised prosperity and growth, has become a reminder of a prosperous past that is difficult to sustain. Without proper maintenance, the existing network struggles to meet the demands of Libya's population, and many of the once thriving reservoirs now sit empty. The project, once celebrated as an engineering wonder, is now overshadowed by the country's ongoing political challenges and